It's really hard to keep riots from breaking out when you're blatantly lying to people, you know?
Yeah.
That's the problem. This fucking Julian Assange thing is really gives me the spooks, man, because it's like...
Well, explain to the folks who don't know what the fuck's going on, what's happening.
So Julian Assange is this guy who created a website called WikiLeaks, and he was kind of the face behind this website that people send secrets, government secrets. People sent him a shitload of files that showed a helicopter gunning down reporters, among other fucked up things. And so he got in a lot of trouble with the military-industrial complex, essentially. He just pissed off the military-industrial complex. He ended up, because something happened in Sweden. No one really knows exactly what it is, but the UK is treating it like whatever he did in Sweden, like he just went around fisting nuns and setting fucking buildings on fire. Like they were doing everything to get him back to Sweden for what I think is a relatively small charge. That's the party line.
I think it's called surprise sex.
Surprise sex, a very odd thing, man. Like,
yeah.
And also, man, not to be a complete fucking conspiratorial weirdo, but a lot of people say that there's some basic things if you want to get somebody that you can do, and one of them is you set them up with some kind of sex crime. You know what I mean? You can entrap somebody. I'm not saying I don't know what happened, honestly. Right. But, you know, in society now, if you were running an empire and you had an enemy, and a really public enemy, it goes past the point where you can just assassinate them, like in the good old days.
Right.
Like in the good old days, if someone had some information, you just fucking send in one of your assassins to come through their window and give them a quick snip on the throat, leave your fucking sigil or whatever your sign was, because sometimes you want people to know that your enemies die, and that was it. Now, assassination is a little more complex. You know, you've got to, like, if someone gets in the public eye, they can't just suddenly hang themselves. You know, if suddenly Assange is dangling in the embassy there, if they came into a bathroom and Assange is hanging by a fucking rope, wearing women's panties, right?
Right.
Wearing women's panties with maybe some fucking kitty porn scattered around. We don't know. He just freaked out in there from the stress, and he tried to do autoerotic asphyxiation. Cut to CNN. CNN, barely a peep about the Libor scandal. Boom, pervert pedophile Assange found dangling in the embassy wearing women's underwear, pink with Mickey Mouse pictures on them. You know what I mean? It's like that. That's a way that they try to defame you and make you seem like you were not valid, that no one should have been listening to you in the first place. That's one way to assassinate somebody.
This Libor scandal, what exactly is behind that?
They were adjusting the fucking interest rates. They were like fucking with interest rates, not based on real reality, but based on the urgings of the government. From my complete low-level understanding of this shit. But basically it somehow is just one of the indications of the things that we hear all the time from some like really hardcore conspiracy theorists who are saying that the world economies are just being controlled by bankers who are shifting numbers to benefit themselves. You know, and this is like, of course, the military, industrial complex or war quite often is benefiting someone in a massive way, so it's just part of that idea that the way things are happening on the planet right now aren't based on some form of humanistic logic, but are based on economic, the economic drives of a very small amount of people who make a shitload of money when bad shit goes down. Like whenever there's a fucking war, there are people who make so much fucking money, man. I mean, it's nice. Like the way if I fucking was to book it, like get my own TV show, like if I was able to sell a show, right, that would be a big deal for me. That'd be awesome. That'd be an incredible moment in my life. In that same way that I'm excited about that, there's people who are like, oh, come on, Iran, say one more anti-Semitic thing. Come on, if we just get one more sign that you want to attack Israel, we can fucking get in there. And if we get in there, they're going to need a lot of my new XP-49 double-edged fucking missiles, and I'm going to make a ton of money. And those people have lobbyists that talk to senators and congressmen, and their point is the reason isn't because it's like, I imagine it's like when you're fucking a whore. You know, the reason she's fucking you is for money. She's not fucking you because she likes you. She's fucking you because she wants money from you. In the same way, these powerful conglomerates are making moves that are based on their own economic gain. This isn't obvious. I don't mean to be so fucking obvious.
Right.
But, you know, the idea was that, I mean...
that we were supposed to be shielded from that. That was the idea.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to be possible.
Yeah.
When that became possible and obvious and policy, that's when the real problems began. As far as like my own personal awareness, when I started seeing it, it became much more blatant, it seemed like, later on in life. And this most recent Supreme Court ruling about it, where they said that corporations can act as individuals.
Right.
Which is insanity. You can just give as much money as they want to give. Like, you guys can work out a deal. I'm going to be president. How much do you want to give to my campaign? How about $1 million? How about I love you? All right, I love you too. We're going to work together. All right, give me some money, bitch.
Yeah, it's quite sad. It's a sad situation, and
it's a strange situation.
And it's a strange situation, and it's a situation that up until this point, I mean, it was pretty easy to hide this shit.
Yeah.
You could really control information.
Yeah.
People couldn't just look in their phone and fucking Google anything.
Yeah, it's almost like everybody's waking up going, wait, what? What?
You know what the effect reminds me of, Joe? I just fucking bought a TV. I'm an American. I haven't had a TV in so long. I went to fucking Best Buy and bought a goddamn one of those nice fucking TVs.
How long did you try to be like Mr. Bohemian? I don't need a TV.
It was, I don't know, since I've been in that fucking house. I don't know, 9 months, 10 months.
Dude, TV is awesome. Anybody who tells you the TV's not awesome is an asshole.
No, TV's awesome. No, it was. Listen, I didn't have a TV out of some hate for TV. Yeah. I didn't have a TV because I understand my compulsion to plug that Xbox in, pop in Skyrim, and just vanish from society for 4 years.
Yeah,
that's my problem. But the thing, the thing about this new fucking TV is, the picture's too good.
Really?
It's too clear. It's like you watch the X-Men, and it's like seeing like people who just walked out of like a a fucking West Hollywood aerobics class. They just look too real. It looks silly. It's too real. Something about the picture's too good.
Yeah, there's a different quality to it where it makes old movies look like shit.
Yes, it's too good. It looks silly.
You know what looked really bad, man? I saw Aliens 2 the other day. The movie still holds up. It's still a great movie, but there's some background scenes where they had a painted spaceship.
Yeah,
and it was so bad
because it's so obvious with HD. With HD. So in the same way, it's weird because it's like that technology is imitating, I think, what's happening to people's perception of things. Somehow, when a president starts doing the presidential talk, or when you see like what's happening in fucking the UK, where they're saying with Assange, no. Listen, we have a right to it. We have to enforce the deportation of Assange to Sweden. This has nothing to do with the thing where he leaked terabytes of information about the military-industrial complex. Nothing to do with that. That's just a coincidence. We've got to get him out to Sweden because he did a surprise rape. Now,
surprise sex, not rape.
A surprise sex. Yeah, I guess it's kind of the same thing.
Well, what happened was they had sex, and then he was in bed with her, and then he had no condom on.
Can I stop you for a second?
Supposedly.
I want to apologize to everyone that I just used the word rape.
Dude,
I am so sorry I said that word.
You should never use that word, ever.
I will never use it again.
That word's done.
I will never use that word. I've taken that word and I have tied it to a fucking bed.
It's the new faggot. Rape is the new faggot.
I don't even, my neurological system cannot process that word. I'm sorry. I don't even hear that word. I don't hear any bad words. I've been taking a new fucking nootropic. It makes it so that I can't hear offensive words and can enjoy a comedy show. Because nothing ruins a comedy show more than when a comedian says something unethical or immoral. Ooh, I hate it. I'm just trying to have a good fucking time.
Yeah, I don't want to be lectured. I don't want you throwing your lefty beliefs my way.
Oh, my lefty beliefs?
No. I'm saying to the comedian.
What's
our hypothetical comedian that we're just making up?
Yeah, comedian, person, blogger, swamp toad, hell being. We got a soul sew the mouths shut. We got to sew the sinner's mouth shut. We can't let him speak. We can't let him talk about the things that happen in the world we don't like.
What is so weird about people that they're so easy to program? Like, they can be programmed so many different ways. And you look at, like, people in North Korea, like, all crying for real in the street when their dictator died. I mean, they were, like, for real, legit crying in the street. And then look at people in America and see how much different we are than people in China, than people in India. It's so we're so adaptable and we're so fucking variable. We're so different. We're the strangest fucking animal ever.
We are a strange fucking creature, man. We went from background to foreground. It's like it's like animals are so absorbed into nature. Like when you watch a fucking squirrel running around and you see how, like, in nature the thing is just part of the earth, almost just the earth. Humans are like a few steps past that. So it's like we came out of a picture. We like came from the background into the foreground. This is the idea that they tried to metaphorically talk about in the story of the Garden of Eden, which is, before they ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they were unaware that they were naked. It was like they're more animals. And then this represents, I think McKenna has said, this is the representation of the expansion of the neocortex. This is the beginning of human brain development, is suddenly becoming aware of ourselves, of our bodies, of the fact that we have a fucking body. Because, animals, they don't think about their buttholes. Like, dogs aren't thinking about, like, what their balls look like when they're running. They're not thinking about their fucking hair if it's messed up. That doesn't cross their mind. A dog's never worried about its hair being messed up. But humans, like, we fixate on that shit. Like, we spend so much time thinking about how ashamed or ridiculously proud we are of our bodies. It's fucking hilarious how much time. If you really consider how much time you fixate on your body, one way or the other, we're just into our bodies.
Sure.
Like, it's really hard to keep riots from breaking out when you're blatantly lying to people.
Yeah.
That's the problem. This fucking Julian Assange thing is really gives me the spooks, man, because it's like...
Well, explain to the folks who don't know what the fuck's going on with...
Off the military-industrial complex. He ended up... Because something happened in Sweden. No one really knows exactly what it is, but the UK is treating it like whatever he did in Sweden, like he just went around fisting nuns and setting fucking buildings on fire. Like, they were doing everything to get him back to Sweden for what I think is a relatively small charge. That's the party line.
I think it's called surprise sex.
A shitload of files that showed a helicopter gunning down reporters, among other fucked up things. And so he got in a lot of trouble with the military-industrial complex, essentially. He just pissed. So Julian Assange is this guy who created a website called WikiLeaks, and he was kind of the face behind this website that people send secrets, government secrets. People sent him